prophecies on the road tell me that angels prey on Westmarch, laying waste and murdering thousands, and no one knows why. I have no love for this city, but I will not stand by while its people are slaughtered. These Reapers will learn that they are not the only killers in Westmarch.
The Nephilim. Tyrael sent me to find you. Malthael has taken the Black Soul Stone. You must come with me.
People are dying down in those streets. I cannot just abandon them.
But you and Tyrael need to form a plan. We must find Malthael.
Tell Tyrael I will meet him in Westmarch. Go!
It will be done. I swear it.
We're going to die! She's coming to kill us all!
The ancients. No!
I watched in horror as the guard was struck by the Maiden's magic. I heard the sound of his screams until his flesh had dissolved to nothing, and only his armor-clad skeleton remained, his jaw unhinged. Blue mist swirled around his bones, coalescing into new flesh. When at last I cut him down, the phantasmal flesh exploded, leaving only a pile of armor behind.
The gates!
Those gates are bound by a spell I cannot break.
Malthael's fallen angels have brought death to Westmarch, raising an army of Reapers from the city's slain defenders. Once, these men and women were our protectors. Now, they are our executioners, scouring the city for every living soul and putting them to the sword.
This darkness is not natural. Is it Malthael's work?
into the streets.
What?
It's the end of the world. So many have been killed and the Reapers are everywhere.
And there are no survivors.
General Torian was defending a group of refugees at the old Zakharoon Cathedral, but they're likely all dead by now.
Wait. You're the Barbarian who saved Bastion's Keep. You'll save us too, won't you?
Yes, that is why I am here.
Keep moving. I think we lost her. No, no!
With demon blood must die.
Demon blood? Those were innocent people.
Shadow touched me, and darkness spread across my vision until all I could see was blackness. It gave way to a pale light that sapped my strength. It seemed so easy. But instead, I drew upon the last of my will and fought back. Color flooded back into my sight. The shadow was right before me, and I drove my spear through it. The Revenant Shield Guards were once the personal guard of King Justinian IV. Appointed to the position for bravery and skill at arms, they accompanied the king at all times, resplendent in their ornate armor, wrought by the finest craftsmen in Westmarch. But most spectacular were their shields, which they unerringly employed in the protection of their king.
Not enough fury.
Ah, we found you.
Tyrael, why is Malthael doing this?
Because he feeds on death. Every time his Reapers kill, he grows stronger. And with the prime evil gone, Malthael believes this is the perfect time to end the eternal conflict.
Humanity has nothing to do with that war.
But we are descended from demons and angels. When Malthael looks at us, he sees demons.
Church! All the refugees are inside! Follow me! This is worse than I feared.
What is that?
A death maiden! Stop her!
Nebula, your soul will be mine.
Any other archer would have fled as he charged, but this one stood its ground, staring down the arrow's shaft through lifeless, empty eye sockets. Even as I swung my blade to take off its head, the thing loosed another shot. How can you fight an enemy that has no fear, nor thought for its own self-preservation?
We must do everything in our power to slow the Nephilim down, so that the collection of souls is not interrupted. It is the key to Malthael's victory.
I will end this slaughter. Where is Malthael?
I know only that he is not in Westmarch. He could have taken the Black Soul Stone anywhere in creation.
But why does he want the stone? Is there any way to find out?
There may be. A sliver broke off when Malthael took the Soul Stone. Perhaps by studying that sliver, I can learn his plans.
Then you study the sliver, while I save this city from the Reapers. General Torian, what was that Death Maiden doing in the cathedral?
She was creating an orb that turns the living into Malthael's death creatures. A single orb can transform hundreds of innocent people every hour, and my men report 2 more of them out in the city.
Soul Crucibles. With 2 of them, Malthael has an endless supply of soldiers.
Then I will destroy these crucibles, and cut off Malthael's supply of troops. Why have the Haradrim returned now?
Tyrael rebuilt the Order to help him take the Soul Stone from heaven, and to protect mankind. After all, you can't be everywhere at once, no matter how powerful you are.
Death comes for you.
Malthael's Reapers are people whose souls were taken by the Crucibles?
Sadly, yes.
What of the Death Maidens?
Their story is as tragic as Malthael's. Once the vanguard of his wisdom angels, they followed him down the path to darkness. Evil must die. Malthael, my brother. He was wisdom, leader of our council, first among angels. And now, he has become this.
What drove him to such madness?
After the destruction of the World Stone, Malthael's mood darkened, and he left the heavens frequently. Then he disappeared completely. He must have developed a connection, no, an obsession with human souls.
What matters now is stopping Malthael. Our souls are meant to join with the world, not to be eaten by death. Studying the sliver of the Black Soul Stone will show you what Malthael is planning.
The sliver is still connected to the Soul Stone. As the stone changes, the sliver will change too. Therefore, I can observe what Malthael is doing to the stone, and if we're lucky, even discover his plan.
Trust in Ekaret.
At long last, a hero comes to save us. That won't bring my wife back, though, will it?
My library isn't far from here. I was closing everything up for the day when I heard the fighting in the streets. I barred the doors and then squeezed through the back window to escape. But I'll have to come up with something more exciting when I write my official account, won't I? You've heard the legend of the Tomb of Rakus, haven't you? Its location has never been found. Most scholars think it's underneath Westmarch, but I suspect it's somewhere outside the city. Rakus was a clever man, after all.
Westmarch originally grew from the efforts of the great General Rakis to spread his religion beyond the realms of the East. Seized by the superstitions of the Zakarum faith, he drove his paladins relentlessly across the barbaric western lands, subduing the uncivilized tribes he found there. Ultimately, he became king of them all.
Duncraig is just death in horror. I thought I'd be safe here, but we've nowhere left to hide.
I found him in the streets. He seemed in a daze, so I brought him here with me, but he's hardly said anything. He's nobility of some sort, but I don't recognize the seal on his ring.
The flames!
The flames? Well, he was covered in soot. Perhaps he escaped from a fire. He never says more than a word or two at a time.
Did you grab the jewelry at least?
Harold, those monsters were about to kill us.
Well, I would rather be dead than poor.
He saved my brother at Bastion's Keep.
I can't believe we're still alive. And it's all thanks to you. I thought we would die in that foul-smelling place.
Hello there.
Cormac, you seem troubled.
For too long have I lived with the knowledge that my order tortures its initiates and twists their minds. I need to know how high this evil reaches. If my whole order is corrupt, what does it mean to be a Templar? What am I?
You are an honorable man who dedicated his life to something you believed meaningful.
But it wasn't, was it? The guilty will answer for their transgressions. I swear it.
Well, the world's under attack and people are dying everywhere. It must be time for us to go on another adventure, right? Aha! I knew you'd need my help!
Has anything else returned to you?
Yes, faintly. My sisters and I were once mere servants in the house of a great Vizier lord.
Did he teach you magic then?
No, I began reading his spell books out of curiosity and teaching magic to my sisters. Tricks, really. It was amusing for a time. But then I learned that he had begun to summon demons.
You ask who's to blame for this doom? All of Westmarch, reveling in sin, worshipping petty idols. The Zakarum are gone, and the Order of Malthael now rises. Praise Malthael, and your souls may yet be saved. He spares only the faithful. Donate to the Order and prove your conviction.
What skills should I use?
It is good to see you again, though it seems like we are only brought together in the worst of circumstances. But I suppose if times were better, we would never have met. For a moment, I heard one of my sister's voices. I could not make out the words.
Sometimes the dead visit me in my dreams. You and I share a similar burden.
My sisters are gone now, and I am the last memory of a world long since forgotten.
You do not know why your sisters died. That is why they stay with you.
The Prophet has foreseen our victory.
Need to kill something?
Did you know there were once 2 moons? Lyria is the one that is no more. I think it's time I told you the whole story of Zai and his master, the god of desire, Dirgist.
You mean you are ready to tell your version of the truth?
Dirgist's jewel has appeared again, and the time for secrets is over.
So it is time to tell me if you are a god.
Have you been eating enough? I've noticed this about you. When things get difficult, you get very focused. Maybe I'll cook for you. So, if it's all the same, we'd probably both be happier if I didn't.
I know who is responsible for this. It's the poor. They've summoned these monstrosities to take Westmarch for themselves.
I keep hearing things. My mind must finally be going.
Is there anything on your mind, Hadric?
Yes, actually. I was just remembering what happened in New Tristram after the falling star hit. I'd never seen Mira so scared. Leah came by later, telling us there were wounded men at the inn.
And your wife still went to help them.
Don't leave me behind! Not again! Someone came for me. After all this time.
My friend Hadric heard you.
Bloody miracle! Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I owe you both.
Come, it is safe up there now.
Remember that noise I heard? It was that lad you rescued.
I'm Bryson. I came here to see your friend.
Huh. And now he won't go away.
You did save his life. He must be grateful.
I am. In fact, I'm going to repay Hadrig by helping him.
And I told you to stay away from my forge.
I grew up over by the docks. Not the good part of town, but it's what my parents could afford. They died when the plague swept through a few years ago, within hours of each other. Like they had to stay together. I used to hate them for leaving me, but now, it's a relief they didn't have to see all this happen.
Why would the angels do this to us?
What are you saying? This is obviously a demon's work.
Want a recommendation?